ये भी खासियत है कि पैन इंडिया इसका स्वरूप है। लगभग कोई ऐसा प्रदेश नहीं हिंदुस्तान का जहां से यहाँ छात्र ना आते हों, और यहाँ से निकल करके जो छात्र जाएंगे वो देश सेवा तो करेंगे ही करेंगे, बल्कि देश से बाहर भी भारत का नाम उज्जवल करने में अपना योगदान उनका रहेगा। और विकसित भारत के निर्माण की जिम्मेवारी जिस पीढ़ी को है, उस पीढ़ी का शिक्षण प्रशिक्षण आज इन संस्थानों में
The students of IIM Jammu will now offer a rendition of the Saraswati Vandana.
मा सरस्वती शारदे मा सरस्वती शारदे पूर्णेस अज्ञान उददिसे पूर्णेस अज्ञान उददिसे वीणा पाणी तार दे तार दे माँ सरस्वती शारदे माँ सरस्वती शारदे सूर्य ब्रह्म शिव विष्णु गजानन जिन चरणों को सेवते हो सूर्य ब्रह्म शिव विष्णु गजानन जिन चरणों को सेवते हम बालक अज्ञानी माता जिन चरणों का प्यार दे प्यार दे प्यार दे माँ सरस्वती शारदे माँ सरस्वती शारदे
Thank you, students. I now request Professor B.S. Sahai, Director, IIM Jammu, to felicitate the Chief Guest, the Honorable Minister of State, Independent Judge, Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji, with a bouquet, memento, and a shawl. Thank you, sir. Once again, I request Professor B.S. Sahai, Director, IIM Jammu, to felicitate the guest of honor, Shri Amitava Chatterjee, MD and CEO, J&K Bank, with a bouquet, memento, and a shawl. Thank you, sir. I request Professor Jabir Ali, Dean, Faculty and Research at IIM Jammu, to felicitate Professor Dr. Shakti Gupta, Director, AIMS Jammu, with a bouquet, memento, and a shawl. Thank you, sir. I request Professor Nitin Upadhyay, Dean Academics at IIM Jammu, to felicitate Professor B.S. Sahai, Director, IIM Jammu. Thank you, sir. Dr. Sarbjit Singh, Chairperson Admissions at IIM Jammu, will now present the incoming students' profiles.
Thank you, Dr. Parvati. Shri Jatinder Singh Ji, Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge. Shri Amitava Chatterjee Ji, MD and CEO of J&K Bank. Padam Shri Dr. Milind Kamble Ji, Chairman BOG IIM Jammu. Professor Dr. Shakti Gupta, Director AIMS Jammu. Professor B.S. Sahai, Director IIM Jammu. Professor Jabir Ali, Dean Faculty and Research. Professor Nitin Upadhyay, Dean Academics, my colleagues, dear students, good afternoon, everyone. So on behalf of Team Admissions, I'm here to present before you the batch profile. So all in all, we have 455 plus students on board. I'll go one by one. So in MBA, we have 275 plus 25. All in all, we have 300 students in total. Out of that, we have 31% around freshers and 69%, 31% as with the experience and 69% with the freshers. If you go by the category-wise distribution, it is fairly well category-wise distribution as per the GOI policy. In terms of male and female percentage, we have 70% male, 30% female students. Going by their educational background, we have engineering more, 40% around, followed by the other categories. And going by the state representation, we have representation of more than 25 states in the MBA program. Along with that, the leading state is the Uttar Pradesh, right? I hope you are able to see it on the slide as well. For MBA healthcare, we have 97% on board. Out of 97%, 80% are female, and the 90% are the 80%, 81% are the male and 90% are the female. In terms of work experience, we have more of freshers, 88%. In terms of educational background, the one good thing is that we have more from the sciences, followed by the other categories. In terms of state-wise distribution, Uttar Pradesh is leading, followed by the other states. Again, we have a representation of more than 20 states here. Moving further, the EMBA batch, we have 30 students on board. Male-female ratio is 83% in male and 70% in female. Educational background, we have more from the engineering side, 57%. Going by their work experience, we have around 40% of the people having a work experience of 5 to 10 years. State-wise representation, we have fair state representation here as well. This is all about the PhD full-time. We have 9 students on board. Here we have category-wise distribution fairly well. If you go by the area-wise distribution as well, we have representation of all the areas. Here I'm talking about the research areas. State-wise distribution is again fairly well. We have more candidates from the Jammu and Kashmir state itself. Going by the PhD working professional, we have 16 people on board, with 31% on the female and the 69% on the male side. Work experience, we have around 38-39% of the people with work experience ranging from 5 to 10 years. State-wise representation is again good. And if you go by the area-wise as well, we have representation of all the areas in the PhD, full-time as well as in the working professionals. So this is all about the batch profile. On behalf of admissions team, I welcome you all aboard. Make each of your day a special one, a masterpiece. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. I now invite Professor Nitin Upadhyay, Dean Academics, to speak to the new batch.
Thank you. Respected Honored Chief Guest, Minister of State, Shri Jitendra Singh Ji. Guest of Honor, Shri Amit Chatterjee Ji, MD and CEO, J&K Bank. Professor Shakti Gupta, Director, IIM Jammu. Mr. BSI, Director, IIM Jammu. Dean Faculty and Research. Chairperson Admissions. Dear faculty, colleagues, and my dear students, welcome to the IIM Jammu. It's very auspicious day as we onboarded the incoming batch. And academic is the forefront and the foundation of why we exist. When we look at the Viksit Bharat 2047, we are committed and to contribute to the aspirations of the developed India. And Indian Institute of Management Jammu strengthened the academic culture by ensuring the rigor and sanctity of the code of conduct for academic deliverables. We run 6 programs in academics, and I'm sure that while you experience your 2 years journey with IIM Jammu, you will witness a very evident change in your personal and professional growth. I wish you all the very best and look forward to have a more meaningful conversations throughout your 2 experience. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. I now invite Professor Jabir Ali, Dean, Faculty and Research, to speak about academics at IIM Jammu.
Thank you, Dr. Parvati. Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge, Dr. Jitendra Singh, sir. Our guest of honor, Shri Amit Chatterjee, MD and CEO, JK Bank. Our Chairman, Dr. Milind Kamble, sir. Director, AIMS, Dr. Shakti, sir. Our Director, Professor B.S. Sahai. Our colleague, Dr. Nitin Upadhyay and Dr. Sarabjit, our faculty colleagues here, and dear student. First of all, congratulations to all of you for joining IIM Jammu family. Now you have 2 years with us, and we hope that these 2 years are going to be full of learning and excitement. Now you need to give these 2 years to this campus, and I'm sure that when you'll be going back, you'll be having a lot of things with you. Let me also mention here that the academic journey here is going to be a bit different. Where in classroom, we are not just going to give lectures, rather we are going to co-create the knowledge. So it's going to be two-way process. We always say that in management teaching, it is always participant-centered learning. And that can happen only when you are also prepared equally when you come to the class. I'm sure that these 2 years going to be like that for you. And let me also mention here that the faculty colleagues in IIM Jammu going to help you to all extent possible so that you can learn as much as you can. So it's now your turn to take whatever learning you want to have from IIM Jammu. And I'm sure that this is going to create a new person among you, a new manager among you, a new entrepreneur, or going to shine. And definitely, as we always targeting to become the developed nation, you have the responsibility on your shoulder. And I'm sure that you're going to fulfill that responsibility very well. Wish you all the very best for a wonderful journey with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I'm pleased to invite Professor Dr. Shakti Gupta, Director AIMS, to address the new batch.
Namaskar, greetings from IIM Jammu. Respected Chief guest of the occasion, Dr. Jitendra Singh, Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge, Government of India, dignitaries on the dais, in the audience, and new batches of Ph.D, MBA, and other faculties, and dear friends. So first of all, I would like to express my gratitude for this occasion. And then actually, I like to extend congratulations to all the batches who have joined recently for this program, like 6th batch of PhD, 4th batch of PhD, working professionals, 10th batch of MBA, 4th batch of MBA, healthcare and hospital management, and 5th batch of this executive MBA. I feel very happy to share that we are already working with IIM Jammu and started unique program in our country, that is a MBA, Hospital Administration and Healthcare Management in the country, along with IT also. And there are enough opportunity for all of you, not only for MBA, Hospital Administration and Healthcare Management, but all those who have joined over here to work with IIM Jammu. IIM Jammu is only 10 months old baby, but we have already most latest technology in IIM Jammu. There are enough opportunity for you to do work or do some case studies or project work in terms of infrastructure, technology, architecture. We have got the most modern labs in our institute, which are not available in the country as on today. To name a few, one of the lab that is a Center for Advanced Genomics and Precision Medicine, where we use next generation sequencing, was inaugurated none other than Dr. Jitendra Singh. And this is the most modern lab in our IIM Jammu, which is not there in AIIMS Delhi. None of the AIIMS has got that facility. And there is only one active small lab in Bangalore. So this lab is getting samples not from Jammu only, but from the whole of the country actually, including the AIIMS Delhi also actually. So one thing which I want to share that these tests for genomics and precision medicine, they were used to be sent to USA, which cost about 5 to 7 lakh rupees. And same facility has been made available in IIM Jammu from 15,000 to 1 lakh rupees actually, and the results are very soon actually. Another thing which I want to share is that recently we have installed the most modern robotic automatic smart lab where waterless technology is being used, and it will be functional in another week, 10 days time. And then in addition to that, we have got already implemented, that is our indoor patient navigation system, which guides the patient where to go, how to go actually. This is the only project which has been implemented in IIM Jammu in collaboration with IIT Delhi. So we are totally going for a digitalization as per the vision of Honorable Prime Minister, because our Honorable Prime Minister's vision is that the digital India. So we want to be part of the Digital India mission, and hopefully by October, our aims will be total digital and paperless. So I extend an invitation to all of you to work jointly with us. There are enough opportunities, so which we are looking for. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. It is my pleasure to invite Professor B.S. Sahai, Director, IIM Jammu, to welcome the new batch.
Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, Sri Amitabh Chatterjee, MD and CEO, JK Bank, Director AIIMS, Dr. Shakti Gupta, my colleagues on dais, Professor Javir Ali, Nitin Upadhyay, Sarvjit, friends from media, faculty members and staff members, all distinguished guests, parents of incoming batch, and my dear incoming batch students. We are extremely privileged to have Honorable Minister who graciously accepted our invitation to inaugurate this program. Sir, you are always very, very supportive to IIM Jammu and your continued support, guidance, and encouragement has helped us to achieve a great, significant miles. And you have been always supportive to IIM Jammu. I extend, please join me in welcoming Mantriji. Just now, Honorable Minister has inaugurated this new hostel complex. We're really thankful to you, sir. Our chairman, Dr. Milind Kamble, he was supposed to be joining the inaugural function, but due to some unavoidable reasons, he was not able to make it. Nevertheless, he has sent his message, and which will be read by Professor Jabir Ali. We are really thankful to Sri Amitabh Chatterjee, MD and CEO, JK Bank, and Professor Shakti Gupta. Please join me in welcoming them. I extend a very warm welcome to all of you. Many of you are coming Jammu for the first time. I had a privilege to meet with your parents when you came for registration on Friday and Saturday. It was a wonderful interaction. IIM Jammu was established in 2016, and in 9 years, it has progressed very fast. Similarly, when I see this thing that the whole growth and development of nation in the last 11 years, it is phenomenal. We are the 4th largest economy in the world. 2014, this GDP was $2 trillion at the 10th position. Whereas in 2025, it is $4.2 trillion and 4th largest economy. And very soon, we are going to be 3rd largest economy in the world. What is most important is the scale of operation. Most of our time I've spent in NCR. I'd never thought of that from Delhi to Meerut, I will reach in 45 minutes. So it used to take almost 1.5 hours to 2 hours. Nobody had imagined that, okay, road will be so wide, 14 lanes, 16 lane road. That is the scale on which government is working. National highway, if you see all across the country, or whether you talk of rural roads, whether you talk of railway electrification, or you talk of AIMS. In 2014, it was just 7 AIMS. Today, you have 22 AIMS. IIM similarly 14 to 21. Airport, the most significant part I find is that airport. Recently, I had the privilege to take a flight from Hindon Airport. What a great idea. We had just 74 airports. Today, we have more than 158 airports. The data I'm talking of 24. That precisely in last 1 year, again, a lot of development has taken place. In ease of doing business, we have made a quantum jump from 134 to 63. That's remarkable. And when we see this whole track of solarization in the country, initially people are just thinking that what is going to happen, this is just a myth. But the fact remains that 2014, from 2.6 gigawatt, now it is 110 gigawatt in just 10 years' time. So remarkable achievement. When I see this bank, I was talking to Chatterjee sir, bank NPA used to be 11%, has reduced to less than 1%. And best of all is that mobile production, India is the 2nd largest mobile manufacturer in the world. So overall, if you talk of, or you talk of entrepreneurship, startups, when we talk of, we find that India is doing great. And, like say, this unicorns, in 2014, it was just 4, and now it is 117. So these are the developments which we find. And the best part is that Honorable Prime Minister set a target that by 2047, we are going to be a developed nation. That precisely means all of you sitting over here with an average age of 24, 25, added of another 22, 23 years, many of you will be CEO. Many of you will be in a commanding position. You are going to be the change master of this country. So that's really important. Let me just tell you that 5 important innovations which has taken place in the country. It is mind-boggling. Whole world is thinking that what is happening in India. how they have been able to do it. The first and foremost thing is UPI. Unbelievable. Whether you talk of vendors on the street or whether you talk of anybody, this has never been able to do it. Nobody has been able to copy it. Daily transaction is more than 602 million. And in terms of money, daily transaction is more than 81,000 crores. DBT, direct benefit transfer. There used to be a lot of corruption, everything. Today, directly money is going in the beneficiaries account. That's a remarkable thing. Third innovation I feel is CoWIN. And our Honorable Minister of External Affairs Minister, that was a classic example that when he was in US and at the restaurant along with his son, he was traveling, he was going there. And when at the gate they asked, so he just opened his mobile and saw this thing that, okay, this is a COVID certificate. And his son was taking out, he lives in US, was taking out this paper. So that was the difference. Fourth thing I would like to say, ONDC, Open Network Digital Commerce. This is going to change the face of the whole country. And all of you must be knowing about this thing. It's really important. Next one is that Mangalyaan. And lastly, I would like to say Operation Sindoor. This is a message to whole world that what we can do in just 23 minutes. Just 23 minutes, the whole world is looking towards India. And we are so much proud of our armed forces. We are so much proud of our Honorable Prime Minister. Decisive leadership is very much important. This is what he has done. And now it's your turn. That once you are here, like say, IIM Jammu was set up in 2016. It's the third generation IIM. But from very beginning, we are knowing that where we are heading for. 5 years back, we decided that we are going for all 3 international accreditation. All of you must be knowing that there are 3 international accreditation worldwide in management education. ACSB, EFMD, EQUIS, BGA, AMBA. Sir, today I feel very happy to inform you that IIM Jammu is the first institute among third generation to get BGA accreditation for 5 years. And back to back, we got EFMD accreditation for 3 years. So if I combine second and third generation together, IIM is the only institute which has got 2 accreditation. And if I talk of all IIMs put together, then we are the 5th IIMs to get 2 international accreditation. Like say, we are doing some job which are really very important, and you should be knowing, and you must take pride of that you have joined IIM Jammu. We are working closely with the government of Jammu and Kashmir. We have set up a center here. Center is called Center for Innovation and Transformation in Governance. This center is set up jointly with the support of Department of Economic Affairs, Niti Aayog, and government of Jammu and Kashmir. And this center has a CEO, and 28 people are going to work in this center. Second thing is that we, along with the government of Jammu and Kashmir, developed a scheme called Yuva Udyami Vikas Abhiyan. This project is, the government has committed 1,830 crores. If finally this is going to require 10,000 crores, and JK Bank and NABARD, they are supporting in a big way. An idea of this UI scheme is that in 5 years' time, 1.37 lakh entrepreneurs will be developed, which will create job of 4.25 lakhs. Remarkable thing, I must tell you that. Most of the time, there was a message that, okay, we are supposed to be churning out management graduates and PhDs. No, we owe to the nation, we owe to the region, and we have to contribute in the development and growth of region and the nation both together. We have many centers. You will come to know about this thing. There is Center for Small Business Development. There is Center for Diversity and Inclusion. And there is a center called Anandam, the Center for Happiness. You are going to be part of that. Chairman admission was presenting that 452 students have joined across all the programs. My dear friends, This is a transition phase for you. You are coming from typically a university system to IIM system, and it's a totally different. Life is totally different. We work for 24/7, 365 days a year. That precisely means clock never stops. Fine. So it's really very much important. You'll find campus is very vibrant, exciting, cooperative, competitive, and challenging. Always come prepared in the class. If you're not, then your professor will ask you to leave the class, or rather they will not allow you in the class. Never come late in the class. They will tell you you're too early for the next class. So mind it. Fine. Our major strength lies in faculty members. We have today 68 full-time faculty members, out of that 8 professors of practice. Besides that, we have 14 adjunct professors. Second thing I would like to tell you that there are so many clubs, 45 clubs. Like say 15 clubs dealing with academic issues, 13 clubs dealing with sports, 15 clubs dealing with cultural and social issues. We don't say that sports club. We say that the badminton club, cricket club, squash club, snooker club, TT club. So if you have particular interest, join that particular club. And lastly, I would like to say this thing, whether you want to be a job seeker or a job creator. That's really very much important. You are lucky ones to get admission at IIM Jammu. There is no dearth of money. There are ample of money available to do your own startup. Whether you want to be an employee or whether you want to be an employer, take a call now. And one thing I would like to say that when you are here, sitting here, we give you a choice that besides studying, you can register your company right away. There are 2 incubation centers here at Jammu and 1 in Srinagar. While you're studying, you run your company also. And by the way, I'm quite sure of that you will succeed in whatever you do. But suppose somebody fails, then we'll give you placement opportunity also. So this is a time that you should be thinking of starting your company while you're studying here. So my dear friends, there is no shortcut in life. You have to really work very hard. If you want to be a great leader, you have to be a great follower. Mind it. I keep telling to all students in all batches that, my dear, dream big, think big, and do big. Unless you dream big, you can't think big. Unless you think big, you can't do big. जिंदगी में एक जुनून होनी चाहिए, एक दीवानगी होनी चाहिए, एक पागलपन होना चाहिए, एक मैडनेस होनी चाहिए. अगर हमें जिंदगी में कुछ भी करना है, तो फिर हमें जुनून पैदा करना होगा. आप सबों में वो जुनून है, मुझे पूरा विश्वास है. I'm quite confident that your stay at IIM Jammu is going to be very, very exciting, and you will enjoy every moment. Thank you very much. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Unfortunately, Dr. Milind Kambliji, Chairman, Board of Governors of IIM Jammu, was unable to be here physically for this program. On his event, on his behalf, Professor Jabir Ali will be passing on his message to us. I request Professor Jabir Ali to read out the presidential address in the chairman's absence.
So I'm going to read the message given by our Honorable Chairman, Board of Governors, Dr. Milind Kamble. So I'll be reading the whole message. Respected Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji, Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge, Government of India, Shri Amitav Chatterjee, MD and CEO, JK Bank, Member of Board of Governors, IIM Jammu, Dr. Shakti Gupta, Director, EIMS Jammu, Professor B.S. Sahai, Director, IIM Jammu, distinguished guest, faculty, staff, and my dear student. It is a moment of immense pride and heartfelt joy to welcome the 6th batch of Ph.D., the 4th batch of Ph.D. working professionals, the 10th batch of MBA, the 4th batch of MBA Healthcare, the 5th batch of Executive MBA to IIM Jammu family. This is not merely an occasion of institutional ritual. It is a celebration of excellence, of dreams taking shape, and a new chapter in the collective journey of national transformation. I had planned to visit IIM Jammu to address the incoming batch. However, I have to cancel my visit at the last moment due to some unavoidable reasons. I am pleased to welcome Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji, Honorable Minister of State, and express my deep appreciation for his continuous support in making IIM Jammu a great institute in the country. His presence adds immense value to this occasion. A visionary leader and a proud son of this soil, Dr. Singh has consistently championed innovation, youth empowerment, and regional growth. His journey in public service is a powerful reminder of how one individual's dedication can shape the future of many. I would also like to thank Mantri Ji for inaugurating the state-of-art student hostel complex on the campus. These hostels have a capacity of 688 rooms. I'd also like to welcome Shri Amitabh Chatterjee, MD and CEO JK Bank, and Dr. Jagti Gupta, Director IIM Jammu, on this auspicious orientation program. At the very outset, I would like to offer my deep appreciation and warmest congratulations to Director Professor B.S. Sahai, whose unwavering vision, intellectual foresight, and resolute leadership have been instrumental in scripting the extraordinary rise of IIM Jammu. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to Indian Institute of Management Jammu, one of the fastest growing institutions in the IIM family. Today marks not just the beginning of your journey at IIM Jammu, but also the beginning of a transformative phase in your lives. This is a special moment for all of you, as well as for us too. You have earned your place here through hard work, determination, and merit. Congratulations to each one of you and your families on this remarkable achievement. My dear student, at IIM Jammu, we do not just focus on academic excellence, we foster a culture of leadership, integrity, innovation, and resilience. The institute, established in 2016, has already made a mark on the national and global map through its commitment to quality education, research, and inclusiveness. We are not only proud of our modern infrastructure and experienced faculty, but also of the values we uphold. Indeed, the academic trajectory of IIM Jammu has been remarkable. In short span of time, it has earned 2 major international accreditations: Business Graduate Associate BGA AMBA, and institutional level accreditation has awarded accreditation for 5 years. Similarly, EFMD, a European Foundation for Management Development, has awarded accreditation for our MBA program for 3 years. These are not just certificates. They are recognitions of excellence, of credibility, and of the unshakable belief that geography is not limitation when there is a clarity in vision. Dear student, this orientation program is not merely a formality. It is your first step into a vibrant ecosystem of learning, discovery, and growth. Over next few days, you will get to know the institute, your peers, and guiding principles that define us. Dear student, your presence here today is the beginning of profound personal and intellectual journey. In coming years, will test your assumptions, stretch your capacities, and awaken you in new ambitions and deeper values. I urge you to embrace this journey with courage, curiosity, and compassion. Learn not only to solve problems, but also better questions. Complete, yes, but also collaborate. compete, yes, but also collaborate. Think critically, but also act ethically. Let me share a few thoughts as you begin this journey. Be curious, be open, learn beyond textbooks, interact, question, challenge assumptions. Curiosity is the foundation of innovation. Collaborate, don't compete. While excellence is important, collaboration will make you further. Learn to work with others, respect diverse viewpoint, and grow together. Uphold ethics and responsibility. As future leaders, your decisions will have real-world consequences. Build your careers on a strong foundation of ethics, empathy, and accountability. Take ownership. IIM Jammu provides you with tools, mentors, and platform, but the responsibility to make the most of it lies with you. Stay grounded, stay ambitious, aim high, but stay rooted in humility. Leadership is as much about listening and learning as it is about leading. As chairman of Board of Governors, I assure you that we are committed to build IIM Jammu into a world-class institution that not only delivers excellence, but also contributes meaningfully to the nation and the society at large. My dear student, make the most of your time here. Let these years be filled with learning, leadership, challenges, and triumphs. I'm confident that each one of you has the potential to lead with purpose and make a positive impact wherever you go. In the context of your journey ahead, let the institution become just not a campus, but a sanctuary of learning. Let your pursuit of knowledge be steeped in humility, and let your service to society become your highest form of worship. At this important stage in your life, I urge you to look beyond just academic goals. Look towards Viksit Bharat at 2047, a vision of India that is developed, inclusive, and globally respected by the time we complete 100 years of our independence. Once again, welcome to IIM Jammu. May your journey be inspiring and your achievements extraordinary. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. It is my pleasure to invite the guest of honor, Shri Amitabh Chatterjee, MD and CEO of J&K Bank, to address the new batch.
Namaskar and very good afternoon to all of you. Honorable Minister of State Jitendra Singh Ji, Director IIM Shakti Gupta Ji, Mr. Sahai, Director IIM, all the other dignitaries on the dais, faculty members, other invitees, and most importantly, I would say the guests of honor today. I'll go back to a day in 1989 when I was at the crossroads, specifically June 4th, 1989. I was at the crossroads of deciding between the conflict of my mind and my heart. That the decision was whether to join an MBA course or join as a probationary officer in State Bank of India. The compulsions that day compelled me to decide on my mind to take up the job. I must congratulate all of you for listening to your heart and coming here. Many, many congratulations to you. It's a real privilege and honor for me to be here today as a speaker for this orientation program before such an aspiring, youthful, and knowledgeable audience at IIM Jammu, a beacon of academic excellence in this part of the country and one of India's youngest yet rapidly rising IIMs. Let me first extend my heartfelt congratulations to the new batch of MBA and PhD students who are beginning an exciting transformative journey. Getting into an institution like IIM is no mean feat. It is a testimony to your diligence, efforts, and potential. You have made it this far, and now begins the journey of your dream career in this wonderful institution. In retrospect, we tend to view our lives through extraordinary moments, those milestones that bring us closer to our chosen paths. I believe today will be one of the most memorable days of your lives, and as it marks one such significant milestone in your journey of life. I feel honored to stand among future executives, entrepreneurs, and leaders who have taken their first step towards success. You are entering this challenging yet rewarding arena of life, full of innovation, ambition, and ready to shape your future with your own hands. In my experience as a banker, I have seen that people universally aspire to become richer, stronger, or better versions of themselves. Most of us are driven by pursuit of what we might simply call a value-added future. And what better place than IIMs to enrich yourself? More than just management schools, these are institutions that have shaped the backbone of India's economic and industrial leadership. IIMs don't just produce managers, they nurture individuals who go on to lead companies, build institutions, and shape policies. That is the legacy you are about to become a part of. As someone who has spent over 3 decades in the banking and financial sector, I can tell you with confidence, the gap between the classroom and the boardroom has narrowed significantly. In today's dynamic business environment, it hasn't vanished. Bridging this gap requires more than textbooks. It requires insight, innovation, integrity, and most importantly, initiative. You may have noticed that we each carry a different vision of what our work truly means. I'm often reminded of this through a simple anecdote from early years of my career. Once, 2 masons were laying foundation of an university when a professor passing by asked both of them what they were doing. See, the different responses will tell you what it means. One of them stated, the obvious, of course, he was laying the foundation of a building. Correct answer. But the other, he delighted the professor by saying he was building an institution. The difference lay in their perception. The first had a factual but narrow view of his work. The second had a visionary one. To illustrate this further, let me share this example of Jammu and Kashmir Bank, founded by Sri Maharaja Hari Singh Ji, who had a grand vision of a prosperous Jammu and Kashmir with a financially empowered society at its core. Today, this 87-year-old institution, with a total business exceeding 2.5 lakh crores, more than 4,000 touch points, a workforce of more than 12,000, and millions of customers across Jammu, Kashmir, Ladakh, and beyond, continues to play a pivotal role in shaping the region's economic landscape. We are at the heart of the financial architecture of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, with strategic presence across the rest of the country as well. Our focus over the years has been to support and sustain the economic progress of people by financing almost all the sectors of economy, laying emphasis on economic self-reliance through entrepreneurship and self-employment. And this is where institutions like IIM come in, by acting as bridges between knowledge and action, between academia and industry. I'm happy to note that IIM Jammu has placed a strong emphasis on integrating academic excellence with real-world relevance through research, collaborations, entrepreneurship, development, and active industry interface. Professor Sahai was mentioning a live example of this through the mission Yuva. There hasn't been another example. There isn't enough time for me to explain that program. If you have a chance to go through the entire thing, this is where you would understand how everybody has come together to create a self-employment platform for the entire masses of Jammu and Kashmir. To the incoming students, I would urge you to make the most of this opportunity. You are not here just to earn a degree. You are here to discover yourself, to challenge your ideas, to expand your worldview, and to build the foundation of a life that matters. This is your time to ask questions, to seek answers, to embrace discomfort and uncertainty, because that is what growth looks like. The world you are stepping into is both exciting and uncertain. Rapid technological changes, sustainability challenges, and global interconnectedness, all of these are redefining the very nature of business. But in such a world, leadership rooted in values, adaptability, and clarity of purpose is what stands out. You don't have to have all the answers today, but you do have to start asking questions, the right ones. As an industry leader, I see immense potential in deeper partnerships between academic institutions and industries. We need to move from internships and case studies to co-creation of knowledge, shared problem solving, and long-term collaboration. And I'm happy to commit that Jammu and Kashmir Bank is in its own capacity, will always be open to initiatives that bring the world of learning and the world of business close together. Since many of you are going to be future leaders, I would like to highlight one of the most important aspects of leadership through a very simple example of General George Washington. During the American Revolutionary War, close to a battlefield, a group of exhausted soldiers were digging a trench. A corporal stood by, mounted, shouting orders and threatening punishment, but not helping. As they worked hard, a man in a civilian clothes rode by and asked the corporal why he wasn't helping, if this was so important. To this, the corporal replied, "I am in charge, and the men must do as I say. You should help them yourself if you feel so strongly about it." The man dismounted and worked in the trenches side by side with the men until the job was finished. Once the work was done, he congratulated the men and approached the corporal and said, "Next time, your rank prevents you from supporting your men. You are to notify the top command, and I will provide a more permanent solution." The stranger was none other than General Washington. In this fast-changing world, we need adapted leaders, those who know when to step in, when to listen, and when to let go. The people you lead will watch what you do more than what you say. So you need to lead by example and inspire them through your actions and dig the trench, not every time, but when it matters. Because sometimes the most powerful thing a leader can do is to roll up their sleeves. If you want to be a successful leader, the most important thing that you should remember is, this is coming from my own experience in this world, is to try and create leaders. You should try create a leader better than you. You will stop working someday. The organization, the institution will never. So that is where the success, the parameter of success lies as a leader. Two more things I would add before I end. Again, right from my experience in this industry, opportunities will come your way. It is bound to come. It will always come. And most often, opportunities come in the most adverse situations. You have to identify, take a call, set your priorities right, and act. And lastly, Mr. Sahai has explained it very well. Your competence, your hard work, everything will take you to great success, no doubt about it. But excellence depends on passion. If you are passionate about what you are doing, whether you are leading, whether you are an employee or an employer, irrespective of that, if you are passionate and you love your job, you are definite to excel in that. So thank you. Before I end, a quote from Jeff Bezos. In the end, we are our choices. Build yourself a great story. I wish all of you great success. And once again, thank the director and the faculty of IIM Jammu for inviting me. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir. So we started with the idea of diversity, moved through themes of collaboration, competition, passion, rigor. Let me tie all of these speeches up for you in one very short snippet, right? Diversity is not just a demographic checkbox. It's a strategic choice. When perspectives built through rigor collide, innovation thrives. That's essentially what all of these gentlemen have been speaking about. Thank you to our guest of honor. It is my honor now to invite the chief guest, the Honorable Minister of State, Dr. Jitendra Singh Ji, to deliver the inaugural address.
Director IIM, Professor Sahai, Director AIMS, Dr. Shakti Gupta, Chairman of the JK Bank, Mr. Chatterjee, Professor Upadhyay, Professor Jawahar Ali, Mr. Dr. Sarabjit Singh, members of the faculty, students who are here. Actually, I was requesting Professor Sahai that it would be better that we have more of an interactive session rather than doing monologue. Because I've been a teacher myself for more than a quarter of a century and a very keen observant of the students I preside over. So 1/3 of them had already gone off to sleep. The other 1/3 were struggling to keep awake. So by the time my turn came to speak, I thought I would now be guilty of putting the rest of the 1/3 also to sleep. So I didn't want to go back home carrying that guilt with me. And therefore, I would still request that we would be precise and then talk about to each other, because I think now days are over when there was, one-sided sermonizing, and these children were kind enough to do that. Today, they appear to be apparently very magnanimous listening to you. But when they go back to the hostel, this will be the topic of gossip. And many of you would also be waiting कि कभी ये सिलसिला खत्म हो. So, but nevertheless, I think it's my also a pleasant formal task to compliment Professor Sahai, his team. And since I have seen this institution and been associated with it right from its inception, among the numerous IIMs that have been introduced in the last 11 years after Prime Minister Modi came in, I think this is one of the IIMs which has relatively risen better than many others. In fact, this is precisely what I was telling to Director IIM Mumbai. I was there last week, who also happens to be a colleague of Professor Sahai, Professor Tiwari. And I think that is a heartening. So you have created a role model of having made a considerable degree of... because you see, the actual measure of where you stand does not lie in where the India Today rating puts you or where is social media. It is by two ways, because I have been among the students all my life. A is the placement preference. So boys, girls would come here, they find a good process. B is what you see during the counseling. You have the CAT counseling or you have the IITG counseling. And I was telling, in fact, some of the faculty in the engineering and also in the medical that are sometimes not very flattering to see that many boys do not prefer an IIT and prefer a private engineering college. Do not prefer an AIMS and prefer a private medical college, which means that there is something amiss. And I'm glad that that is not the case with IIM Jammu. So I think that is my parameter, which is a very objective parameter, again, based on these youngsters, not based on what the elders say. So that's why I said, but nevertheless, now this is the 10th batch with 452 students and 25 PhDs. And I think that requires to be acknowledged. I think what is important from your point of view and why I thought I should be listening to you, and that's what I do precisely because I'm visiting 2 or 3 such institutions almost every week in different parts of the country, is that this is one of the best times happening for the youth. And in one of the podcasts, they asked me, any grievance and any wish? I said, no grievance because God will be angry, but wish, yeah, I was born like you. No, that's not my fault. And it's also not your achievement.
And you can moderate it.
I was not born, asked when to be born. You were not asked when to be born. But you have been destined with this privilege. Now, how best you make it. Because, and upon that, for the last 1 decade, we have a government which is youth friendly, which is youth enabling, all these hosts of schemes. And then a beautiful ecosystem, which is also youth patronizing. In the meeting of Vice Chancellor that we had just now this morning, I was telling them we don't realize what a magical turnover has been done by this National Education Policy 2020. You would not realize because you got into this in the natural course. But those who did go through it would realize once they see the benefits accruing to you. So I said, somebody asked me, one of the students in one of the institutions, what is the greatest difference? I said, in a single sentence, you are not prisoners of the subjects chosen for you by your parents or your elders. And your parents also, in good faith, did not want you to do something, as Mr. Chatterjee was mentioning. The choice was to become a probationer or to become an IIM MBA. He preferred probationer, and then, of course, to take MBA later. So when your parents chose, for example, the medical subjects for you in class 12, their limited objective was that you become a successful medical practitioner, have a good bungalow, have a couple of cavalcade of cars. They didn't actually think of serving humanity and patient care, wo jo bade aapko sunaye jate. But once you didn't, if, for example, if you didn't succeed getting into the medical school, then what? The parent is also wits end, you also wits end. You get caught up in botany and zoology. You do MBA, MSc in that, BSc in that, Ph.D. in that, and then sometimes end up in a teaching job in one of the IIMs, that too unwillingly. So now you have a choice. You can juggle your subjects, you combine your subjects. In fact, one of the earliest universities, some of the colleges which introduced NEP 2020 way back 2 years ago was in the city of Chennai. So in one of those colleges, the missionary college, I asked a teacher there, I said, how is it working? And she told me, more than the students, I'm excited because I go there to teach literature and I find in my class students for biotechnology and chemistry, which means they have come there actually to listen, not by force. They have some interest in literature. Like Francis Bacon once said, the greatest harm to the cause of literature is done by the teachers of literature. The greatest harm to the cause of MBA is done by the teachers of MBA. By giving you all these sermons which you turn off from the deaf ear and without actually relating to what you're actually looking for. So from that point of view, this is a time and this is a government which is actually trying to relate to your aspiration. That's why the level of aspiration has. This is now, for the first time, I am seeing absolute democratization of aspiration. You have in civil services, you have boys and girls, for example, coming from the states and UTs which never made it to the civil list. You have toppers from Haryana, toppers from Punjab, toppers from Delhi, which were not known to be visible in the civil services list. Even in your neighborhood, from a very average college of Punch, last year, you had a girl, 11th All India topper. Because now this is with you. You don't have to go searching for it. For example, when we were, so that is the difference between you and how best you can realize. When, for example, if we were given a thesis, my guide would ask me to look for a book which was available only in the British Council Library. I would go there, they would say, no, the book is there, but it has been borrowed by the consulate office in Calcutta, so wait for 2 years or 2 months. You don't have to do that. It's all free. Now it's up to you how much you use. Whether you use it for Addressing your aspiration or changing what you do, DPs. 3 DPs. And you don't even know whether the DP has been seen by the one for whom you have changed. Anyway, so that has in the process raised the level of self-esteem, self-confidence in an average student. And that's why all this achievement happening, because you are doing it out of your aptitude, will. There's no amount of coercion on you. And since the teachers, some of the teachers of yours still belong to the relatively older school of thought, the risk is that you don't become victims of that. So you have also to be cautious. And as far as achievements are concerned, I think Professor Upadhyay and others are mentioning, you take each sector, it's all youngsters who are doing it. And we have now created global success stories. I think vaccine, Professor Sai was talking about vaccine, COVID vaccine. But what the point inside is that India was never taken seriously for its healthcare practices. Even if you fell sick, we don't. If you fall sick in the hospital, you don't do anything. You just call up your parents, say, "Hey, thoda maine aaj goli khali, aaj ye karunga, wo karo, baat khatam." The same country is today taken as a leader in preventive healthcare, leave aside curative. So that's the huge 360 turnover. And that's an opportunity for you. And challenge how best to avail. In space, America landed in 1969, but we landed at Southern Pole before. Just now I was telling in the IIT, I said, Shubhashu is coming back with the experiments, the kits were provided by our Department of Biotechnology, performed by an Indian, and the benefits going over to the rest of the world. So, and that is what has given you the confidence. I had one of my interns who later on was looking for a post-graduation course in USA. He, at one point in time, I gave him a reference, he introduced himself as a boy from Asia. So I was quite upset and I asked him, why are you doing so? He said, please excuse me. That I'm talking about 20 years back. Today, if you say you are from India, your rating goes up. And that's why boys and girls from Pakistan also have started saying we are from India. So that is a measure. So I think now it's one of the best times happening, as was being mentioned by Professor Sai. We've gone up from economy 5 to 10 to economy 4. And our Ph.D. is also rank 3, our patent filing also. And our startups, we are already ranking 3. We just started from 350. Today, we are more than 1.75. And coupled with that, now we also have the National Research Foundation. And I think Jammu also has an advantage of having a beautiful ecosystem within a radius of 4-5 kilometers. I'm glad that just 2 years back, I suggested to Dr. Shakti Gupta and Professor Sai that we should have a multiple MOU, which is not usually the practice. So there is an MOU in place between IIM, IIT, AIMS, Institute of Mass Communication, also the IIM CSIR. And somebody asked me, why get in IIM? I said, because I firmly believe that for a startup to succeed, you should have a very early industry linkage. And we have actually vindicated the point. All these success stories I'm talking about in vaccine or in space have been possible because we created a structured interface. In space, we have something called InSpace. In biotechnology, we have something called BIRAC, Biotechnology Industry Research Application Council. Both these interfaces are mandated to decide the nature of collaboration, the scale of collaboration, the entity of collaboration. So they'll be actually counseling, guiding you where to collaborate, how to collaborate for a successful venture. And all this has happened only in the last few years. And now, of course, there is also a steam. Yes, only 2 weeks back, we relaxed the general financial rules. Now the director has been given the liberty of spending without much of regulation. He's empowered to approve the global tender inquiry up to rupees 200 crore. So that's now you are suddenly become a rich man versus I. But when I made this announcement, I said, don't get excited that we've given you this liberty. And also we have also approved that they need not go to the GEM portal for procurements, wherever they find us. But I that day also had the courage to say that when all of us get excited about the directors, now we are financially independent, we don't have to go to the authorities for permission. Try to ask yourself, as good students or good teachers, why at the beginning was this regulation introduced? when your parents say, come home early, you are not very happy, not comfortable. Finally, your parents allow you, "Bhai, jo karna karo." ठीक है, you are happy, parents happy. But did you ever ask yourself why at the first place my parent had to put this embargo on me? There may be some extraneous factor for that. So I humbly requested all the directors, the vice chancellor, first ask yourself, तो कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है कि मेरे पास 100 crore की ग्रांट आई एंड माय ऑफिस अटेंडेंट से साहब फर्नीचर बड़ा पुराना हो गया है और कैसे खरीदे? बोले इसी खाते में डाल दो. So grant obtained for academic purpose, if it is flaunted meticulously or smartly to purchase the office furniture or sometimes even the domestic furniture, these are some of the things which might have happened, which, you know, prompted the policymakers. Otherwise, why doesn't it happen in European countries? Why even the teachers don't have a retirement age? Because they have faith in you. The teacher himself tells when he turns 85, 90, he says, no, now I'm okay. Now I'm through. I'm not going to teach anymore because my faculties are failing. Why don't you have this over here? Because if you do this over here, whether failing or unfailing, he'll continue till 100 at the cost of these poor guys. So unless we have that level of evolution in the society, all these things keep happening. So we have also to ponder, while this government is very forthcoming in giving you all the liberty, all the relaxations, but why did these happen in the first place is something would be a teaching lesson for us. I also have to congratulate you for Professor Sai has come up with a beautiful 4-block hostel, about 688 single bedrooms, and very nicely done with a good ambience. And I think as he was mentioning startups, I think this linkage you could also have some B2B meetings over here because the kind of ecosystem that you have. So in-house itself, like you have in-house placements, you could have in-house startup. We have been doing that across the country, but this campus with a huge area and space, you could always do that, invite some of the industry and more of industry exposure even to these youngsters. And as I said, because as I said, I'll prefer more of talking from you, hear from what you have to say about me and others. So before I end, I just conclude by what I said in the beginning. You have been born in one of the best times, but don't forget, you are not credited for having done that. It's just incidental. Your birth is accidental. Or maybe accidental sounds a little impolite. So let me say it is incidental. But now that has happened. We talk Viksit Bharat, Viksit Bharat, Viksit Bharat. Professor Sai said, Professor Vadya said. But who's going to be the creator of that Viksit Bharat? At the end of 20 years, 25 years, it is you guys who would be hosting that flag, who would be observing or celebrating Century India. Others may or may not be around. So it's both a privilege for you, which destiny has bestowed upon you. And now if destiny has been so kind to you, how can you repay back? If not for the country, for the nation, wo badi baat hai, chhod do philosophy. For yourself, how at the end of the day are you going to justify your journey? So if that we can live up to, I think we have plenty around. And that requires change of mindset. We still look for government jobs. Only day before yesterday, I was trying to work out the statistics. From startup driven itself, we have created 17.56 lakh jobs, more than the jobs created in the government sector. But we don't realize that. We are still harping on that. And therefore, best of luck. You're going to have what we all missed. But I hope through you, we see what we missed out. Thank you.
So every time Dr. Singh comes here to speak, I have one thought. Thank God he's not teaching here, right? He's a fantastic speaker. And every time he comes and speaks to us, we always learn a lot. So thank you very much, sir. I would like to remind you that you keep promising us that you will take sessions here at IIM Jammu. So please do. But now, we will have a short snippet of him again. He has wonderfully let us know that he's willing to take questions and answers from the group, right? So I will be moderating.
Need not be questions. You can also answer to many of our, conditions, and you can make suggestions and even advise your elders. I think this is one of the opportunities where you can give up your inhibition and advise even the director.
So who wants to go first? Yes, ma'am. So Varun is bringing you the mic.
Yeah, hi. Good morning, sir. Thanks for the wonderful session and the learnings that you shared with us. So I have a question on behalf of all the cohort. So according to, as you mentioned that right now Government of India is focusing on being individual, and by 2047 we have a vision of being into the Viksit Bharat. So as a MBA student, what's that one skill that each and every student sitting here should inculcate to be a future leader and to hold the managerial positions and leadership positions and to contribute to the overall development of the society and the India as a whole?
See, I'm not going to get into that kind of a philosophical platitudes which you have. Maybe that's what I will said, like Francis Bacon, do harm done to the teachers. Don't get into all that philosophy. Just try to understand what you are, what you can do the best. Try to understand your aptitudes, your capacities, your capability, and then be on that path. What happens is we either underestimate ourselves or overestimate. So also our parents. When somebody goes to Mumbai or the Bollywood, he thinks I'm going to be a great star, film star, because his mother always said, such a beautiful son. Only after reaching there, he says, no, he's not meant for that. And gradually he begins to realize he could be a good script writer. And if not, he could open up a canteen in the side room of the studio. So first try to understand what you are, not only by your aptitude, also your capabilities, your capacities. And I think this NEP 2020 is a beautiful opportunity because you can change your options, you can change your priorities, you can change your course of learning, a course of life which was not happening earlier. So if you understand what your capacity is, then that will give you the capability, and that will give you the confidence of excelling over others, and it will then happen spontaneously.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Hello, sir. So my name is Nasir. I'm from Jammu only. I recently joined PhD here. Since you said we can also make some recommendations, so I just want to make one recommendation that a lot of B schools and IITs are creating their policy schools, the Centers for Public Policy Research, and so I just want to make this recommendation that it will be very great if IIM Jammu also creates a center for public policy research and analysis that will create young policy practitioners. Thank you, sir.
No, good. I'm glad you said that, but Professor Sai has already initiated that. And I'm glad I have to compliment Dr. Shakti Gupta also. That was, in fact, I discussed with him in the first AIMS, which I will also introduce, MBA in healthcare. Something on the lines of LSE that we have, the London School of Economics, you have the health economics there, you have the MBAs in different areas. Earlier on, you just had MBA tourism, etc. But Professor Sai is already into this policy making. Is that you want to add?
In fact, I said this thing that we have a center called Center for Innovation and Transformation in Governance, which is established by, supported by Department of Economic Affairs, Niti Aayog, and Jammu J&K government. And IIM Jammu is the nodal center. So if you have interest, you can do that. And I was just talking, Honorable Minister, that in due course of time, we are going to start full-fledged School of Public Policy. And in that regard, my colleagues have met Joint Secretary DOPT already. Thank you.
Now your second question should be that why didn't I know about it? Isn't it? So then the answer to that is that we also have to learn to communicate with these youngsters in the language that they understand the best. So they understand the language of the social media. So if you have small jingles, 1 minute video, half a minute video, displaying all that, and I'm sure Professor Sai would think about that, then we could reach out to those who actually are the beneficiaries or the potential stakeholders of that.
Yes, sir. Let's see.
My name is Ramakrishna, sir. Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to study in this prestigious institution, sir. I think I am the senior most in the.
You can introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name
which
is
course you have
Ramakrishna.
joined, yeah.
My name is Ramakrishna, sir. My name is Ramakrishna.
Close
Am I
to
audible,
mouth,
sir?
yeah.
Am I audible, sir? Yeah. So my name is Ramakrishna, sir. I have joined EMBA course and I have completed my engineering from Hyderabad. And after that, I got this opportunity to take up this EMBA course. So I have 30 years of experience working with Tata Steel. So I am honored to join this EMBA course. This is one of the greatest opportunity I could get to join this prestigious institution. I think I am the senior most student in the youngest institution, sir. Thank you very much.
Good
You
morning,
have a
sir.
question?
I'm Suyash Mishra, sir.
Yes.
Sir, this side, sir. Sir, good morning, sir. My name is Suyash Mishra. I'm from MBA program over English. Sir, I have two questions specifically from Disain, sir. Sir, how to have a magnetic personality like you? And the second thing is, sir, being such a laureate, how it was to go into politics.
पहले तो thanks for telling me I'm a magnetic personality. And then second, my complaint that I came to know about it so late in life. अगर 25-30 साल पहले हुआ होता तो हमने भी कुछ गोल के लाए होते. Nevertheless, it's not like that. I think the formula I followed is what this young girl was asking. Understand yourself and try to understand what you can do the best. Your not only your aptitude, also your capacity. And if you work on that, you will work with focus and you will have a sense of competitiveness coming naturally. And I'm sure you can do that.
And the second question was, sir, that as many people don't want to go into politics, as you're such a laureate person, sir. So what was the path that we can also go into politics? That could also be helpful. Because MBA aspirants can also...
Be it any profession, if you go into that just for a profession, then you will never make it. Like I said, when your parents ask you to take medical subjects as an option in the class 12, they do not necessarily do that out of some Hippocratic philosophy of serving the mankind, serving the patient. They have the limited vision that as a son, as a daughter, you will make it good in life, you'll make a big fortune, you'll be a medical practitioner. When you don't get it, the whole thing goes haywire both ways. Similarly, if you set out on a profession, even if it is a medical profession, if you start running after money, you will not make it. But if you just concentrate on being a good physician, good practice, the money will run after you. In fact, the other day, the doctors gathering, yesterday morning, I was telling them why this patient-doctor mistrust. Not because you sometimes the patient feels that he's being charged more than it, but because there is lack of, it is not the practice, it's the malpractice. And I gave them the example of Dr. B.C. Roy when he gave up practice to become chief minister. That was in 1940s. Some of those boys and girls from Bengal may be familiar with his name. He was charging rupees 66 as the consultation fee. And my teacher used to tell me that 66 in those days meant 66. That means today it must be 6 lakh, the banker here. I think more than the consultation fees charged even today. But nobody grudged him. He was so popular, so loved one. People unanimously chose him as the first second chief minister of Bengal. Because there was no malified intention. So if you go into also into politics, thinking that मैं minister बन जाऊंगा कल, फिर मेरे पास गाड़ी होगी, फिर आगे पीछे सबको होगा, तो वो नहीं होगा. So when, at least in my ilk, when we came into this organization, from the region where we came from, there was no possibility of governments happening. So many would mock us that as पढ़े लिखे youngster कहाँ चलेंगे. But if your heart is into that, if you think you are into this, then you go in. Not design करके कि मैंने politics में जाना है कि मैंने वहाँ जाना है. अब आपको लग रहा है कि मेरी spontaneous inkling है उस तरफ की, then let it happen. And then you will be picked up by others or by destiny.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. As of now, there aren't any questions running on my mind. But I just want to say, when you walked in, I personally had no idea about you. But when you started talking, we all got so hooked up. So I just want to give a compliment to you that you are a wonderful orator and you do have a magnetic personality, as my batchmate stated. So thank you for that. And everything you shared, I was so excited to hear everything, and I learned a lot from you today. So thank you very much.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, yeah, like I'm Suprajit from MBA, sir. Like recently, a few months ago, we all saw a viral meme, like Vishal Mega Mart job, sir, security guard job. Sir, like later I realized that it was not due to the lack of jobs, but due to mismatch of jobs. So what we as students and you as faculty can do, sir, like about it, like mismatch of jobs, sir. Like we have many skilled people, but they're not finding the right jobs at right time, sir.
Job? No, what? Just say again.
So like it was like we saw the viral meme, no, sir. Vishal Mega Mart security job. One meme was circulating. It was like later I realized it was like not because of lack of jobs, sir. We have jobs, but people are finding it hard to find like correct jobs for them. Like
No, that's because they start looking for job with a fixed mindset. You come out with looking for a government job, for example, where you have an easygoing 3 hours work, afternoon nap, also marketing, shopping, paying children's fees, getting your car repaired, all in the working hours, and still back home salary. So if you give up that mindset and actually start looking for what you actually want to, then you will place the job, because they say, I see what the mind knows. So don't have a prefixed notion. If you are looking for a particular kind of a vocation, then just look for it. If that happens, and of course, for the public-private, from our point of view, from the government point of view, we try to institutionalize it. As I gave you the 2 examples, both in space and in biotechnology, we have created a successful role model because we have created an intermediate infrastructure. So we are into that also. And in fact, I have started in some of the colleges mentorship. We have already adopted over 700 colleges. We call them star colleges. They are mostly degree colleges where we entrust some of the students in the charge of mentors so that they can actually also discover, nurture, and connect them to the kind of job they are meant for. So the mismatch sometimes happens because there is a confusion inside us also. Like I said, you go to Bombay to become an actor because everybody has told you, no, you are the first one to be born like this. बाद में पता चलता है. So it's like that.
गुड आफ्टरनून सर. सर एक पर्सनल क्वेश्चन था आपसे. जैसे कि हमने आपकी स्पीच में नोटिस किया कि आपकी कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स बहुत अच्छी है, तो सर आप ये सीक्रेट बता सकते हैं हमें कि आपकी कम्युनिकेशन क्यों अच्छी है, आपने क्या रूट्स फॉलो किए जिससे हम सब भी उन रूट्स को फॉलो करके हमारी कम्युनिकेशन को अच्छा करें और हम फ्यूचर लीडर्स बने.
ऐसा है कि अगर सारी सीक्रेट्स यहाँ बुलवा लोगे तो मैंने वापस घर भी जाना है. क्या नाम है आपका?
अमित मीना सर.
It's just that you be into this. If you have the flair, you would catch up. You will, if you keep listening to others who speak well, who communicate well, then you should be a good learner. That's about all. Much of what we have learned in the 4 walls of the universities is forgotten. Even though Nelson ne kaha tha कि I won the Battle of Waterloo in the 4 walls of Eton. Eton is a famous school. तो नेल्सन ने जब हराया नेपोलियन को तो उसने अपने स्कूल को क्रेडिट देते हुए कहा कि I won the Battle of Waterloo in the 4 walls of Eton. But that's not an absolute truth. In these days and times, there's a knowledge explosion, and the pace of knowledge is increasing so much. All these skills also. I think you have to be a good learner. If you're a good learner, you will excel in whatever you choose to, both in communication also.
सर एक क्वेश्चन और पूछ सकता हूँ. सर एक्चुअली हम पब्लिक स्पीकिंग करते हैं तो हमें डर लगता है कि कई बार हमने और कुछ गलत बोल दिया तो क्या होगा. क्यों इस वजह से हम पब्लिक स्पीकिंग करते ही नहीं, हम खड़ा होकर पूछते ही नहीं है किसी चीज को. सर इस डर को कैसे दूर कर सकते हैं?
वो तो धीरे-धीरे you will also gradually understand what to speak, what not to speak, and what to speak in the air, what not to speak publicly.
थैंक यू सर.
जस्ट एज जहाँ से आप घर जाते हैं, आप स्कूल से खिसक करके पिक्चर देखी होती है, देखी कभी?
यस सर.
देखी. तो आपको इतना समझ है ना कि जाके मम्मा को नहीं बताना है,
नहीं सर।
तो बस यही स्किल है कम्युनिकेशन का। लेकिन अपने दोस्त को फोन करके बताते हो, यार वो मैंने आज देख के आया, बॉबी तू भी देख, कहते हो ना, देखो कैसे आपको पता चल गया। डिस्क्रिशन इन कम्युनिकेशन, ये खुद ब खुद आता है once you are into this.
Thank you, sir.
Very good afternoon to all the panelists and all my friends. Thank you for the wonderful session, sir. This is Vishal Gupta. I'll be joining the MBA Healthcare batch this year. So we always talk about the Viksit Bharat vision of Prime Minister Modi. I'm very excited to see when and where we will reach at that point. So you being a doctor, do you think that healthcare will take the lead in this race and pull all the sectors and the economy of the country, make more jobs? And the other question is, sir, how do you see the healthcare being penetrated at the Indian roots in the villages, in the districts and talukas?
No, very nicely put it. I think there's going to be a very beautiful future for healthcare, because there were times till about 20 years back when for every sophisticated treatment, it was the privilege of the VIPs or the rich to go abroad and get treated. When, for example, heart bypass started newly, Houston became famous in India because every VIP would travel to Houston for a bypass surgery. It's no longer now. You have all, and moreover, the advantage is that you have cost-effective management over here. Now you are getting medical tourists from almost all the neighboring countries because they find equally standardized treatment over here at a lesser cost. Plus, we have also the indigenous component. We are now also combining the other methodologies. And as I was saying only yesterday, I said now, just as in case of Shubhanshu, the first of his kind experiments he is doing, very soon we may be the first to have introduced a new specialty in healthcare called space medicine. He is doing these experiments because a doctor could not have gone there. Otherwise, these are biotechnologists investment. So tomorrow we might be training a biotechnologist. We may be training you to go and do some management studies in space. So I think India is now not only equal to others, in some ways it's also taking lead in some aspects. So it's going to be a very bright and a very promising healthcare future for India. The other advantage from the point of view of sitting in an academic institute is that you have a huge research pool in India. You have all the communicable disease, you have all the non-communicable. The other day, there was a group of youngsters, they referred to me, but they come from a European country. So one of their professors referred them to me. So they asked me, sir, what kind of study should we undertake? In what disease? I said, you name the disease, I'll give you one. This is India. Yahan har bimari milti hai. You find diabetes, you find heart attack, you find malaria, you find dengue, you find leprosy, everything is there. So you have such a huge resource pool. So we have great advantage over others. And now we are started, exploiting that.
Good evening, sir. Sir.
Yes.
Sir, I'm Shaktivel from Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Sir, I like to regarding question regarding the atomic energy. That is your department. Sir, could you hear me? Yeah, sir, I'm Shaktivel from Tamil Nadu. Sir, I like to ask about the question regarding the atomic energy. Regarding that, in 2025, I like to recollect some incidents. In 2025, US restructured a blacklisted organization. On that, they removed 3 nuclear Indian organizations. At the same time, they added 9 from China. And follow up, we invested huge investment, like 16 crores from our Indian budget to the nuclear energy only. And also, our Prime Minister Modi also, in every US trip, they say that they are collaborating with the nuclear energy development only. So it is, we take that like India is going to dominate the nuclear electric power like China in battery, sir.
No, I think, yeah, that's right. Good that you asked that. No, if you have to compete globally, you have to live up to global parameters, as you're talking. And then for that, you have to follow global strategies. And for the first time, this has started happening now in India. This opening up to the private sector. See, we talk of NASA. We compare ourselves to NASA, but we don't realize NASA doesn't depend on government. Similarly, their now nuclear program doesn't depend on government. Only this year, announcement has been made in this current budget that India will open up its nuclear sector to the private sector, which was never even demanded. Everybody had reconciled. So we are now following that same path, which would take us there. And even when we were not having that advantage, still all these technologies, what you saw in Operation Sindoor is from the Department of Atomic Energy and Department of Space Technology. Only two departments incidentally linked with the work that I do. So these are all these technology, even those which are brought from outside and developed over here, the TOTs, the transfer technology, is also done in the last 10 years. But we didn't have the means to test it because you can't go around making explosions. Incidentally, Pakistan gave you the opportunity to test your capability. And you have proven that. So what I'm saying is, in spite of constraint, we are already, in a big way to this. But after this new opening up, it'll be faster. We'll have a good sector of startups, even from MBAs in the nuclear sector in the times to come.
Thank you, sir.
We have time for one more question.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Bharat. Firstly, I want to thank you for blessing us with your presence.
Now you see the whole hall is awake. If you see anybody sleeping around you, just point out and you will get an award from the director. So that is how the classroom has to be run in 2025.
Sir. I want to ask you a simple yet personal question. After hearing you speak for the past 35-40 minutes and after going through your profile, how are you able to, be humble and grounded even after achieving all these?
Can't hear.
Is this audible? Yes, sir. So I wanted to ask a simple yet personal question. After hearing you speak for the past 35-40 minutes and after seeing your profile, and I wanted to personally get to know that how are you able to manage to still stay humble and grounded after all these experiences and all these achievements, sir?
No, that is because it's not humble. I'm not doing any favor. I'm doing favor to myself. The day you Khalifa ban jaye, then you don't begin, you stop your growth. You have to be a continuous good learner. That's why I sit with the students. I ask them to teach me something new because I, at the end of the day, make it a point to learn something new before I end the day. So I have to keep learning. And for that, I have to be humble. I'm ready to learn even from you. So it's not doing any favor to anybody. It's just for your own growth. When you think you are in a world apart, that means the world will move on, you will stay there apart.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, hello.
Right.
Good afternoon, sir.
I'm sorry, we'd already told you, right? That was the last question. Okay, please.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, sir. I do have a very basic question, but I just want to get your viewpoint on that. See, in a highly academically rigorous environment that we do have here in IIM Jammu, if you would have been an MBA student in this age on our place, would you have tried to be more academically better, getting good grades, or would you have tried to implement the teachings that you had here in IIM Jammu to something, building it something alongside with the studies? So because see, if we get academically rigorous, we'll get good grades, but if we build something alongside, so we have to somewhere sacrifice with the grades part. So would you have been, which side would you have?
That you can't individualize, that you have to see your own capacities. Some people do both and excel in both. Some do only one and don't excel even in that.
True.
Now Raj Kapoor used to simultaneously act, simultaneously direct, simultaneously sit with the music director, and he excelled in all the areas. But many others who do that even lose out on their acting. So I don't think we can individually. That's why I said in the beginning, in response to that young lady, the first task for us is just try to understand what I am. I'm not talking in the Buddha terms. कि वो आंख बंद करेंगे, meditate करती, वो बहुत सारे सन्यासी हैं वो सिखा रहे. मैं कह रहा हूँ आप पहले समझो what are you meant for, what is your capacity, what is your capability, what you can do best. And yes, now while doing this, I can also do this. Then your own, inner self will start dictating you. So you have to understand yourself. You can sometimes do both and excel, but sometimes may not.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
So one last question, sir. Last question.
I'm sorry. I think yeah.
So
मैंने क्वेश्चन को पूछने के लिए नहीं किया, मैं कंग्रेचुलेट करने के लिए बोल रहा हूँ सर. I would like to... Sir, can you hear, please? Sir, I would like to congratulate you, sir, because I have studied from NIT Calicut, where I have passed my graduation from electronics and communication, where I have got a startup challenge, where previously my senior suggested that start करना है तो कोई metro cities को जाना है, नहीं तो ऐसा रहता था सर उस टाइप में मामला. तो you change, the government have changed now all the type of innovations what they have given till now. In the past 10 years there is a more development जो बोल सकता है कि नया भारत खड़ा हुआ गया है जैसा. So where we can start up in our college itself, we have a startup innovation centers. So ये पूरा ना जो मोदी का पालन जो कब start हुआ था जो last 10 years से, तो it was a very great opportunities to all the engineers and all the central government students. Just like in the IIM, just now you stated that there is a innovation centers and जो कोई startup या कुछ ना ऐसा innovations तो पहले नहीं था सर.
नहीं वो ठीक है, वो आप ठीक कह रहे हो. तो कॉलेज एकेडमिक प्रेमिसेस में भी हो सकता है, इसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. स्टार्टअप आप भी कर सकते हैं. अभी तो बहुत सारे प्रोफेसरों ने भी करना शुरू कर दिया. दे टर्न मल्टी मिलियनर्स.
नहीं सर, पहले तो उतना अपॉर्चुनिटीज नहीं मिलता है सकते हैं. इतना डेकेड के पहले तो उतना अपॉर्चुनिटीज नहीं मिलता. तो ये जो गवर्नमेंट आया था उसी टाइम में ना जो बच्चों को भी रिकॉग्नाइज करने का रिकॉग्निशन मिलता. So it was a very great opportunity for students.
You're right, and there's going to be more and more of integration. आपने अलीगढ़ मुस्लिम यूनिवर्सिटी की बात की, तो that's the same integration model. Now, for example, IIT Kanpur has applied for a medical school in their premises. Indian Institute of Sciences Bengaluru. We are going back to that system. In fact,
okay sir,
that is the ideal system.
Yes.
जैसे BHU में भी है in the same premises.
सही सर, आपके जैसे great personalities होने से ही पूरा देश चल रहा है. So I would like to congratulate you sir. Congrats for this.
I've been going to अलीगढ़ यूनिवर्सिटी बहुत ज्यादा जाता था मैं. प्रोफेसर जमाल अहमद साहब हुआ करते थे, अब वो रिटायर हो गए, थोड़े बुजुर्ग हो गए, तो मैं जाता था वहाँ.
Okay sir, thank you.
Sir, good afternoon.
प्रोफेसर शाह जो वाइस चांसलर थे, elder brother of Nasir Ahmed.
I'm really sorry. We're really short on time. Aren't you guys hungry?
No, ma'am.
Yes. So,
One last
and you know,
question.
this is true for
Just waiting for
everybody.
this moment, so I just want to ask. Sir, I have a small question, sir. So in India, many people are suffering from underemployment than unemployment. But in few states, due to the freebies given by the state governments, there are few middle class people and lower middle class people who are suffering a lot. And even the government employees who are unable to get the salaries on time, who are unable to pay EMIs within the given time. And the banks were also unable to help them because the due date are very nearby. So how can you just see that, and what is the solution for that, sir?
What was the first part of your question?
In India, many people who are facing underemployment than unemployment, finally, even though they're getting into government jobs, due to the freebies given by the government are not having any funds to give them the salaries. They're unable to pay the EMIs and they're facing a lot. So how can you just see that? How can they face the...
No, underemployment is also partly because we are into not the ideal kind of area where we are to be. So we choose a preference for considerations other than, what are inherent to our talent sometimes. As I said, you are into a job which is not the best meant for you. But overall, in the last 10 decades, if you see statistically, there is now a new rich middle class and a new rich class of poor, with the 25 crore having come out of that BPL line. So this is a new middle class. Like you had new rich, this is new middle class. This also requires hand-holding for the time being. And government is conscious of the fact because they just come on their own. So there is a progressive rise in the graph. It's not that. And this is a wholesome phenomenon. The rise of aspiration also corresponds to this. Like I said, now there's an absolute democratization of the job opportunity, absolute democratization of the education opportunities. It's no longer confined to single zone or single state. So this will also take care of your underemployment and unemployment factors. Because some of these states, for example, till about 15 years back, were hardly getting any representation in civil service. Hardly. Now the fault was multiple. कई जगह पढ़ाई का उसका उनकी व्यवस्था नहीं थी. कई जगह there was no culture as you had in some states, like for example in Andhra, Tamil Nadu or Bihar. Now it's no longer so. And this democratization also happens to be is also happened to a great extent because of the technology now. So technology has been a great leveler, and upon that the government is conscious. Even for government jobs, we have done away with the interviews. Interviews only now qualifying. Earlier on, ये भी होता था. I mean, connecting your complaint because some people who were not deserving were getting jobs because of nepotism, other considerations through malafide. So I think that will gradually now get corrected because now we are on the different course.
So, but even after getting into the government jobs, due to the freebies given by the state government, they're putting on the tax burden and they're taking loans from the RBI and some other financial institutions, and they're unable to pay the salaries to the government job holders. So they're unable to pay the EMIs on time. So how can you just see and what can you say?
Chairman bank is saying कि Andhra Pradesh की problem है ये specific. But anyway.
Volunteers, I urge you
No,
to
but of
please
course, if
collect
there
the
are
mics
specific
back.
problems, you can bring to our notice.
We're done for today. Thank you.
If there is a specific observation you have made, you can give me a small note. We can also connect to the concerned people. Okay? You're free to do that.
Wonderful. Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, thank you so much for being so generous with your time. I would like to invite Dr. Mukbil Burhan to deliver the vote of thanks.
On behalf of IIM Jammu, it's my honor and privilege to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks to everyone who has graced this inaugural ceremony of Orientation Program 2025. First and foremost, we express our deepest gratitude to our chief guest, Honorable Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, for gracing this occasion with his presence and inaugurating our new hostel complex and sparing your valuable time to inspire us with your visionary address. Sir, you always fill the auditorium with great vibes and great energy. So your presence has elevated the significance of this event, and your unwavering support for education, innovation, and development in this region particularly will go a long way in transforming J&K and nation as a whole. I also wish to sincerely thank our guests of honor, Shri Amitav Chatterjee ji, for enriching this occasion with your valuable insights. Your perspective is especially valuable to our future managers and leaders. A special mention and sincere thanks to Professor Dr. Shakti Gupta ji, Director IIMS Jammu, for joining us today and addressing the gathering. Sir, your presence symbolizes the spirit of collaboration between two great institutions, IIM Jammu and IIMS Jammu, both working towards nation building in their respective domains. I express deep gratitude to our chairman, Board of Governors, Dr. Milind Kamleji, for his visionary leadership. Your continued support and guidance strengthens the foundation on which IIM Jammu is rising. A sincere thanks to our director, Professor B.S. Sahai, whose energy and commitment to excellence has been the driving force behind every initiative at IIM Jammu. I would also like to acknowledge the valuable addresses by Professor Jabir Ali, Dean Faculty and Research, Professor Nitin Upadhyay, Dean Academics. Thank you for outlining the academic ethos and expectations for the students so clearly and inspiringly. Our thanks also to Dr. Sarabjit for engaging presentation on the student profile, and to Dr. Parvati for flawlessly conducting the ceremony as Master of Ceremony. Behind the scene, there are a lot of people, a team of dedicated staff led by Commander Keswan, faculty coordinators, student volunteers particularly, and technical experts who worked hard to make this event as a success. I extend my heartfelt thanks to each one of them. Lastly, a warm and enthusiastic welcome to our new batch of students, Ph.D, MBA, MBA Healthcare, and EMBA students. Your journey at IIM Jammu begins today, a journey of growth, challenge, and transformation. On behalf of IIM Jammu community, thank you all once again for your gracious presence and contribution to this memorable inauguration. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. With that, we come to the closing of the ceremony. I request you all to please rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय जय
Students, please proceed to lunch. Please be back in exactly 1 hour.